So why has Instagram removed likes from its platform, and how can you use this to your advantage in order to grow your Instagram account? So before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button below and that subscribe button. And if you want to see how we went from 0 to 50,000 real targeted followers on Instagram in just 8 weeks, the training for that is also in the description. And now, to figure out why Instagram would actually remove likes from its platform, we need to start with knowing what is Instagram's end goal. Now, obviously, it's to make as much money as possible. Instagram is owned by Facebook, it's a business, it's publicly traded, and it needs to make as much money as possible. So we need to know that inherently, whatever moves Instagram is making is always going to come back to make them more money. Now, how exactly does removing likes on their platform make them more money? You have to understand that the biggest way Instagram are monetizing their audience is running sponsored ads, whether on their story posts or in their feeds. So in order to maximize the total amount of money Instagram are making, they want to run as many ads as possible and have as many people paying for their ads as possible. So how do they run more ads? Well, Instagram need more content to run more ads, because the more content that you're consuming, the more ads you are actually going to be seeing. If there's only 3 pieces of content on the whole of Instagram just can't fill the rest of that content with ads. They need to put these ads between the content that you're seeing. So they need to encourage people to make more content. And when people are making more content on Instagram, people are spending more time on Instagram scrolling through this new content that wouldn't be there if they hadn't encouraged people to actually create that content, and therefore they can pop their ads between this content. So a lot of people using Instagram out there aren't posting photos at all, or aren't posting photos unless they're really, really, really high quality, top 1% photos in order to get as many likes on them as possible. But now Instagram are removing the like, there's no social pressure, there's no judgment, and people are more likely to throw up 100 photos. People who aren't likely to post will go out and post now because they know that no one's going to judge them for getting 12 or 15 likes on their photos. And Instagram is really just encouraging more content to be created from everybody on Instagram so that they can put their sponsored ads in between this content as people are spending more time on the platform and posting more content. So what does that mean for you? So you have to actually consider the second reason that Instagram are making more money by removing likes. And this is because influencer shoutouts will become less popular because brands cannot see how well they're performing unless they're doing one-on-one communication with the account itself. Meaning, if you have an account with 100,000 followers and any brand can go on and see that you get 40,000 likes per post, which means probably 60,000 people are going to be seeing your post. Brands can then message you and say, hey, I've got a product that I'd love for you to promote. I see that you've got 40,000 likes. They don't actually say this, but they know this. And they can say that, oh cool, in order to reach 60,000 people, we have a budget of $600. Can you do this Instagram promotion for us for $600? And they're coming to you with an offer immediately. Now, when they can't see how many views you're getting or how many likes you're getting per post, they're going to have to message you because views are still available to be seen behind the scenes by the actual account that posts the photos, but they're just not publicly available. So it adds an extra step of complexity for that same brand to have to reach out and say, hey, can I see a screenshot of your statistics? I'd like to see how many people see your posts in order to judge how much we want to pay for a sponsored or a shout out post. And this layer of complexity is going to have a lot of brands moving towards spending more money on advertising with Instagram directly than influencers on Instagram. Now, why is this a good thing? Because influencer marketing was already underpriced, meaning going to someone who gets 60,000 views on a post and actually paying them $600 is far cheaper than actually going to Instagram and running ads. But now that less people are going to be doing this, Instagram influencer shoutouts are going to be devalued even further, meaning right now is one of the best times that you could be reaching out to influencers whose demand is going to go way down, but their views aren't actually going down. And you can ask them, hey, how many views do you get a post? How many likes do you get a post? Send me this data that used to be public knowledge, but now isn't. And you can actually go and get these shout outs. So instead of $600, because there's less demand, that influencer is going to be charging way less. If demand halves, they're going to be charging on average $300 per shout out. Now you can get all this exposure for half the price that you would have already got it. So in order to grow your account, and one of the biggest ways and fastest ways that we grew our account to 50,000 followers in less than 8 weeks, training for that once again is in the description if you want the full training, is we used Instagram shout outs. So we went to influencers, we paid them a very small amount of money to be promoted to their entire audience. Now what you need to do is you need to do that all over again, but add the step of having them send you their analytics and their statistics for the photos that they're putting out there, and then give you a quote. Now you can actually start offering less money to these influencers because they are going to be getting a lot less people reaching out, and therefore the value of the shout out is going to come down in terms of the demand from, but the exposure that the shout out is actually going to reach is going to stay the same. So we want to make sure that we're doubling down on our influencer shout outs in this time, especially during the transition time when a lot of people aren't really getting people messaging them, and we don't really know where Instagram's going long term with this. So we want to make sure we're using this change to our advantage by getting as many shout outs as possible. And if you want to start with that, remember, grab the training. It's in the description. It's 100% free. And we're going to show you exactly how we grew from 0 to 50,000 followers in 8 weeks using these methods, including shout outs.